All right, hello and welcome to the One Chunk at a Time Iron Man. I am Chunkgohod and I am gonna be your host for this series here. We are gonna do a series on the One Chunk at a Time, obviously, uh, because it's a way of playing OSRS that has intrigued me greatly. I love watching videos of it and I just find it very, very interesting, and I'm really itching to do this myself. So in this start of the video, we're just gonna go through the rules that I've set up for myself, and the rules are up for debate. I will more than happily take input and maybe change a little bit during the course of this series, but. For now, I feel like I'm pretty good with the rules, actually. So let's go through the rules a little bit. So we have the um, we have the best in slot tasks for prayer gear. I'm not sure if these are things that should be included. Defensive and flinching weapon gear. I'm not sure about those, to be honest. That's something that I would love some input on, because I'm not like I'm not very knowledgeable about this game. I've only played it for like a few months now, and I'm not sure about this, but it seems like yeah, I'm just not sure about this. But we're gonna leave the prayer gear in for now, and maybe add the defensive infringing weapons later on. We'll have to see about that. I will not have to get skill capes, because that's just gonna potentially leave me doing the same chunk for months and months and months with the same stuff going on. And I want to have a little bit of a flow in this, and not be just stuck in the same spot for a year or whatever. um, so but what we're gonna do is items must be fully processed, even multiple times within the same skill if needed, like turning an ore to a bar to a smith item. And this may may very well lead me up to some really tough grinds potentially very soon. You'll probably know why when you see what chunk we're gonna start in. And I must obtain the level to wield and wear crafted items like bows, metal armor, weapons, etc. I will not allow secondary training methods to count as a primary training method, because that could also lead me up to just doing very weird stuff. I will not allow methods inside the chambers of Xerix to count as chunk tasks. The agility shortcuts does not count as a primary training for agility, but the shortcuts count as an agility task if I have the primary training for agility. These things, I'm not 100% sure what they even mean, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna leave that in for now, and see. Maybe we have to change this. But construction is one of those things that I'm not very knowledgeable about. So we have construction tasks can be pulled from crafting furniture inside of a POH, and construction tasks can be pulled from non-building milestone tasks like house location, style, servant, etc. I'm not sure about these. I'm gonna just be very honest with you here. I don't know, so we will have to see. So, but we're gonna allow normal farming to count as primary method of training, of course. I think that's fairly self-explanatory. And we're gonna allow tithe farming to count as a primary method of training. We're not gonna allow just raking as a primary method of training, because that could be super tedious too. I'm not gonna allow the sorcerer's garden, and farming products can count as a primary item source for chunk tasks. Like all of the farming stuff could be really really weird depending on what chunks I unlock, because I mean I need a way to get the seeds, of course. So that could lead me up to a very long grind as well. But I'm not 100% sure about this one. Like that the farming products can be a primary item for item source for a chunk task. This may be something that I change, but for now I'm gonna leave that off. We have turned on herblore tasks required once the druidic ritual is complete. Completable. And for Hunter, we're gonna allow implings in Puro and their drops to count towards chunk tasks. We're not gonna have the non-guaranteed spawns in there. For the magic, allow combat and combat-based and teleport spells to count as a chunk task. I'm not sure about that one either, but I'm gonna leave that off for now. The shooting stars are not a chunk task. Using runecraft pouches is not a chunk task either for me. I have turned off using Slayer equipment can count for chunk task. For smithing, smelting can count as a primary smithing training method, so we'll leave that on. And for drops, killing a boss can be used for a chunk task either from an item the boss drops or otherwise. We'll leave that on. And we're gonna allow drops greater than 1 out of 1,000 can count as a chunk task. This could also lead me up to some serious grinding. I know that from some other chunk men series, but I'm going to leave that on. And we also have allow items from the rare drop table and the gem drop table to count as towards a chunk task, which is pretty much the same thing as this. Oh, well, almost. I feel like. And we are gonna allow loot from tertiary slayer keys, brimstone, larans to count towards chunk task as well. And we're gonna allow item spawns to count as primary access to an item and can be used as a primary way to train a skill if needed. This one right here is one that I'm gonna level with you guys a little bit. I'm actually recording this after I have done the first episode, and this one is one that I thought about while playing, and I realized that I had not enabled that. So you're probably gonna notice a little bit in the video that I forget about this up until the kind of last point of it. But we're gonna allow item spawns to count as a primary way of doing skills. Also, miscellaneous, allow items obtained from a mini game to count towards chunk task. We're gonna leave that on. And we must obtain items that are best in slot, add quality of life for skilling, like the dragon pickaxe, angler outfit, wieldable saw, etc. And for the collection logs, I'm gonna leave in bosses, raids, minigames, and other. I'm not gonna have the pets because the pets are just ridiculously rare, and I don't want to be stuck trying to get pets. For the raids, I'm not sure because I am not very knowledgeable with the game. I'm not really sure how much raiding we're actually going to be able to do as an Iron Man. I just don't know, but we're just gonna have to do that as we go, and see what we can do and what we can't do. And lastly, we're just gonna add the ability to manually add chunks to the chunk tasks on the website, so that's just not really gonna do much, I think. But yeah, we obviously using the chunk picker version 2 made by SourceLink. A really amazing tool for Iron Man. And what I initially wanted to do with this series was to have a randomly chosen spot for me to start, just a random chunk. Because I didn't want to start in Lumbridge, because that's the most obvious place to start, because that's where you spawn when you go into the game. So I wanted to have a random chunks selected. So I started doing that, and I just kind of ended up in places where I couldn't do anything, and I just ended up like unlocking chunk after chunk after chunk without being able to do anything. Like because I started with absolutely nothing, and I couldn't kill the enemies there because they were just too high, and I didn't have any food or anything. So my character that I'm playing as stupid as I was, I paid for members before I even started this series. So I'm gonna have a bunch of unlocked music already for my character that I should not have, just like running from Lumbridge to Remington. So that I just want to clear that up from the start. I have a bunch of music that I should not have unlocked. Um, but yeah, so picking a chunk. Picking a chunk for myself was what I decided to do after that because I just wanted to get this started somewhere, and I feel like the one chunk at a time kind of turns interesting no matter where you start, to be honest. But I just kind of just started thinking what would be a little bit interesting, like a little bit different, and still just viable and still like not. Well, I shouldn't say too easy because the chunk that I pick is actually pretty easy. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to have like a good flow to the series and like a starting with actually being able to do something. So what we're gonna choose is Remington. Remington is our starting chunk. That is where we're gonna start. So the active chunk tasks that we have here is burn a log because there is a log in there that we can burn that spawns in there, and we can buy a tinderbox. We need to get 40 mining because there's gold in them there hills. Oh, but crater really really? Well, I don't think it's a crater either. It's just a mining pit, I guess. We need to get a bronze meta helmet, and we can get those from the bronze meta helmet and the iron dagger are two things that we can get from two NPCs living in this house right here, called Anya and Hengel. We need to get a bronze scimitar that is also in the same house, but it is a spawned item, so we can just go and pick that up. Maple short bow we have to acquire, and an adamant arrow, which we can buy from Brian, the ranged salesman here, the range shop, wherever it's called. And we also need a bronze square shield from the goblins over here. And well, we need a bronze pickaxe as well, of course. Otherwise, we can't mine. But that's also just a spawned item in the house. So that is what we have to work on. And yeah, without much further ado, let's just get to Remington, shall we? So Remington is our home, our birthplace. Is where we're gonna spend the first time in this lovely chunk here. So basically, we have a little farming patch there with cabbage and onions that we can use for food. We have the mining pit here with the gold that we need to get up to. I don't have a way of banking. So I'm just gonna have to mine and drop everything, I guess, or sell it if I can. I'm not sure if I can. Over here we have some goblins that we're gonna need for the bronze square shield. So we're gonna have to go kill some of those. But first off, we need to go in here. In here we have Hengel and Anya. Hengel and Anya, they can drop the bronze med helm, and they also have a scimitar here on their table that I'm gonna
I'm gonna steal from them. And also here you can see that I have absolutely nothing in my bank. My skills are just the base skills. And yeah, I think strength is probably gonna be the best one for us to go from the start. So let's start off with trying to get a bronze med helm, I guess. We're also gonna go nip over to the shop here because I can continue picking up the bronze scimitars from in there, but I don't really know how much they're worth. Oh, we can sell them for 12. That's not bad for a start. Yeah, we can buy the some general stuff in here, of course. We also have a crafting salesman here that will sell molds and stuff, I think. Yeah. He has the chisel, mold, some needle and thread. Yeah. And Brian is selling ranged stuff. So we're gonna need a maple short bow from him. And the Anja and Hengel also dropped the adamant arrow that we need. Maybe we should go in and just start this quest and see if we can do anything with it. I want a quest. Okay, so for the witch's potion, we the only thing that we can get right now is the onion, because we need burnt meat and an iron newt. With the iron newt, we can't get here, and we don't have any meat either. Like there's no enemy in this chunk that gives meat, because with the only things that we have to kill here are goblins and Anya and Hengel. I think the cabbages is probably gonna be a better source of food than onions. Well, it's one, so it's probably gonna be the same. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which one we pick. I am gonna pick one onion and just give it to the witch, because I think I can do that now. But the rest of that quest we're just gonna have to wait with until we have unlocked more. And as soon as we like, if we're lucky enough to unlock Port Sarim, then we can just buy it from there. But yeah, for now, this is what we have. Oh, there it is. That's the bronze pickaxe. Oh yeah, I didn't have that one on. I had that hidden. Yeah. And we also couldn't give the witch the onion yet. We need all of the ingredients before we can do anything with that. But yeah, back to killing Anya and Hengel. Poor people. It's a shame that I can't dual wield bronze scimitars. That'd be cool. And yes, we have the bronze meta helm finally. Took quite a while to find this, but our best in slot helmet done. I still have the iron dagger to get from Anya and Hengel. We also have a beginner clue scroll here, but I can't do it, so I'm just gonna leave that there. Yeah. But yeah, sadly I have to continue fighting these guys for the iron dagger. The bronze med helm was like a 1 in 64, I think, drop rate, and the iron dagger is 1 in 128. So we still have some grinding to do on these people. I've decided to try to get kill some goblins here to try to get the bronze shield instead. For now, because well, my reasoning behind this is that getting the shield will just allow me to go longer without having to go for food. So hopefully I can keep. Oh, get a questmaster. Hopefully I can go for longer without having to stop and refill my food. And the the shield has a better drop rate than the iron dagger. So let's see what we get from the questmaster. We could actually. I think we could get a mithril scimitar from this if we're really lucky, which would of course be a huge upgrade for me. Let's see. Nope, we get a hard clue scroll. Falador Park. Yeah, no, I'm not even. I'm not gonna hold on to that. That's just gonna take up inventory space. Okay, well, I'm gonna continue killing imps. I mean, not imps, but goblins. Dang it. So I decided to actually keep the hard clue scroll because I realized that, I mean, it is in Falador Park, so I could do this, I think. I'm not sure. Like it's it feels like it's very, I mean, it's very close from here. So it might actually be good to hold on to. So I'm gonna hold on to that for now. I also noticed that these rats here, they sometimes, yeah, like now they walk over into my chunk, and I'm not allowed to interact with anything outside of my chunk, so I can't use like ranged attacks or anything to pull them over here. But if they walk over here, of course I can kill them. And with this raw rat meat, I could potentially do the witch's potion quest if I. Well, I mean, I should be able to burn this on the range. There is a range in here, and because we just need burnt meat. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that turned into burnt rat meat or burnt meat, but then if we go in here and kill one of these rats, oh no, we still need the iron newt. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. I'm a dumb. We still need iron newt, and I don't have that. Oh well. It could have been good. Could have been good. And there we got the bronze square shield drop. Finally have a shield. So now the only drop that we need in this chunk still is the iron dagger from Anya and Hensel. So back to some more domestic violence, I guess. Oh god, and we got it, boys. We got it. We got the iron dagger. Finally, dear lord. This took longer than I really thought it would. But yeah, we have the iron dagger now. I managed to get a bunch of runes from here. I had a Lederhosen hat as well. I got one of those uh, uh, mini that shit popping up, I guess. We got an easy scroll, beginner scroll, and a hard scroll. All of them are actually in Falador, which is why I'm keeping on to them, because that's fairly close to here. So I'm hoping that will give us something in the end. But yeah, this grind for these people, like I've killed 135 of each of them today. Um, I haven't kept track of all of the kills, but I've probably killed them close to 200 times each, and I've gotten multiple stuff that was on the same
drop chance as the iron dagger, but yeah, finally we got it. So that means that we can head over to this lad over here, Brian. We'll trade with Brian and we'll buy one maple short bow from him for 400 coins and one adamant arrow from him. And now we can knock off all of those, well, those three things from the chunk tasks. I'm actually not gonna hold on to them. I needed to get them for the chunk tasks, but I'm not gonna hold on to them because they just take up space at this point. Because I can't use bows at the moment. We don't have any ranged attack. The iron dagger is worse than the bronze simi, so we're just gonna sell those for now because it's not useful for me. The Brian only sells oak short bows as the worst one, so he's not going to be able to help me to train up any ranged. I do hold on to the arrows and the bolts that I got from killing the people here, but I'm not really sure if it's worth doing, but for now, they're just gonna hang out there. I may have to remove them. Ah, it feels good to be done with that. But yeah, now we only have one more thing to do. One more thing in this chunk, and then we will be done. I'm gonna drop these. Now we need to get to mining. We need to mine till level 40 because we need to pick up this one piece of this gold here. That is what we need. So the grind can begin. I'm just gonna mine away. It's probably not gonna take too long to do this actually, but I mean we do have a bronze pickaxe, so that's not ideal. But yeah, that's the only thing that we have to do now, and let's just get to it, shall we? And there we go, 40 in mining. We can now mine gold ore and gem rocks and a size 4 stars. So we can just pop on over to the gold here and complete this task. Ah, nice. We got one gold ore. I also got a lamp from a genie, so I'm gonna use that, and I think I'm just gonna put that into agility. It's just 10 experience, but yeah. I'm also gonna do the very last task, because there's one that I kind of forgot about and I did a little bit wrong with. So we have one more thing to do that I want to do, and that is fire making. We're gonna burn one log, and currently we don't have a source of getting an axe. Like we can't cut down any trees because in case we had an axe, well, I would have had to do a lot more cutting down trees for fire making and whatnot. But we do have a spawn of logs in here. So we're gonna... Oh, Brian? Hello? Sorry, I'm gonna take one of your logs. So we take one of his logs in here, because there's a spawn point for it, and we're gonna burn it. There we go. And that is actually this chunk completed. And we can get ready to choose where we go from here. But we're gonna do that in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I would love some input and like feedback on what you guys think of this. Like, do you like the rules? Should I change the rules? I feel like I feel fairly good with the rules so far. Yeah, but do you think I've missed something? Have I missed something? I don't think I have missed something. But yeah, but please give me a comment and let's hear what you think about this. And we'll see you in the next episode where we will pick the next chunk. Bye bye.